Well, happy Sunday, everybody. It's your girl, Jackie Johnson.
And it is LaQuisha. Hello.
And you know what it is. It's my sister and me, LLC, coming to you for our live podcast broadcast on Sundays. And it is Sister Conversations
In
in
black.
Black. All right. So we want to welcome you to episode 19, Sister versus Sister. Oh my God. This might be a rough one today, but I promise you it's going to be real. It's going to be honest. May ruffle a few feathers, but y'all know, oh well, that's what we do. So again, this podcast is to provoke conversation within your home and your circle of people, your circle of influence. So at the end of the day, as long as we're getting that going, then we're doing our job. Yes. So y'all know what it is. I'm going to kick it over to my sister, and she is going to get us started. Go ahead, sister. Introduce us.
All right. Thank you so much. So, like you said, today is sister versus sister. Well, what do we mean? What we mean is, why is there so much hateration in the sisterhood? Why? What is going on? Or if you're not hating, why you always think somebody hating on you, girl? Come on now. And if it's not either one of them, but you are admiring someone but don't want to give them credit, why you envious? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and tackle some of those issues today, meaning how does one get there? How do we end up here? And just like that, we pop it off. Okay. And before I even go super deep into old childhood trauma, I'm just going to stick with the right now. Okay. And the right now is, you ready? The right now is, before we're taught sisterhood, we are taught survival.
Well.
Listen, it's getting ready to go. Okay. Before we're taught sisterhood, we are taught survival. What do you mean? What I mean is, before you're taught togetherness, you're taught to stand on your own 2 feet. When in reality, if we're taught togetherness, we may not have to stand alone. Some things you're going to have to go through by yourself. But there are other things that would make this journey so much easier if we learn togetherness before survival. You can relate that to childhood. You can relate that all the way back to slavery. We were always taught survival because of our circumstances. But now, do we really have to still be teaching survival?
Well,
number 1, survival over togetherness. Number 2, relational aggression. Relational aggression is a term for harm within a relationship that's caused by bullying and manipulative behavior. It's a dynamic that describes the often overlooked contention observed between young girls in social settings. Unlike physical aggression, which is almost impossible to miss, relational aggression, y'all know I got notes, takes on more conspicuous forms, at least initially, inflicting wounds where they won't be noticed. In young girls, this tension can look like social isolation, physical threats, intimidation, sarcastic, judgmental comments, passed off as jokes, refusal to sit with or socialize, disbanding friendship groups. Now, relational aggression. That means that you are being with your homegirls. They don't like somebody. You don't have a problem with her. But because they don't, relational aggression causes you to exclude a person, which makes you a hater. No matter how you look at it, you're a hater with them. Next, that's number 2. Physical aggression. Physical aggression. Physical aggression has one purpose: and one purpose only. And this, we've talked about why people hate me. It has one purpose and one purpose only: to obtain power. That's it. And what is that power centered around? Survival. It's all going to go back to survival over relationship. Physical aggression, again, is used to perceive power. And the people that want to hate on you, they want power. The folks that are envious, they want power because it's a lack of what they don't see within themselves. May not never admit it, but it's a fact. This is ironic considering we probably need to know a lot less about survival if we collectively understood a little more about sisterhood. We're raised being told there's room for only one. And here we go. And she can't be too dark. She can't be too light skinned. She can't be too fat. She can't be too bony or skinny. There are all these stipulations that we put on one another. Why? Because we're all basing it around survival. It's unfortunate. Do you have anything you want to add to those so far, sis?
I'm kind of taking in the terms that you talked about.
Yeah. So what happens is that when you don't think much of yourself, okay, you don't think much of anything that resembles you. Let me say that again. When you don't think much of yourself, this melanin, these lips, this nose, you're not going to think much of something that resembles you, which is my sister's melanin, her lips, her nose, because you don't think much of you. Can't see the beauty in another person if you don't see the beauty within yourself. Okay. This is rough. A huge part of the Black female experience will remain centered around adjusting to the reality that we all don't get to have it all. Not because we're not all worthy, but because there isn't enough it to go around. We'll continue to subscribe to whatever narrative earns us our fair share, which is unfortunately in our case is the one that pits us against each other. I'm gonna go ahead and go here. I need to look it up, but they say the ratio of Black men to Black women is a certain number, and we outnumber them by so much. And so a lot of Black women believe that there aren't enough Black men to go around. They're willing to share, so they're gonna hate. All right. In our quest for survival, we've made the prey of one another using our mean girl techniques to mask our big girl insecurities. So convinced that there can't possibly be enough good grace, there can't possibly be enough good to grace the many spaces Black girls occupy. We delight in the misfortunes of one another. Our greatest wins won't be won against each other. And touting another Black girl magic is meaningless if that energy isn't met with any movement that matters. We know how Black women learn to hate one another the same way we learn to see our bodies as commodity.
Wait a minute, what did you say?
I said, we know how Black women learn to hate one another. It's the same way we learned how to see our bodies as commodities.
Well, I don't know. I think we need to unpack that. We need to unpack.
Go ahead.
And we need to unpack.
I got a lot going on now. Come on.
How did Black women become enemies in the first place?
Well,
Let's
like
let's
what
talk
I
about that.
believe is because we were taught survival.
By our
Uh,
parents, by our
parents,
home, our
forefathers,
environment.
this country, our environments, the entire country has taught us survival only. It is survival of the fittest. You ever heard the term "it's a jungle out there"?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they say it, because they have taught us from the beginning. Even we go all the way back to slavery. And I know we did a series on this. When you go all the way back to slavery, what was they trying to do? Only thing people was trying to do was live, survive. You couldn't come to the defense of another for fear that you may be whipped in their place.
I agree.
Well, not only did it turn women against each other, it turned men against women and women against men. It's this country. I'm going to say it. I don't care what nobody say. The forefathers did us both. Period. When you sit up and think, oh, well, that black woman, she just watched me get, bucked, or she just watched me. What could she do? She didn't just watch. Her soul was dying as it was happening to you. And then some black women, well, you just watch the master go into the house and rape me. What could he do? Some people would say, well, I would rather die than this and that and the third. And now you don't know what you would do in this.
And some did. Some did. Let's be clear.
Some did die. Nat Turner. But at the end of the day, you don't know what you would have did. And what I'm not going to do is judge the judgment calls of them that came before us. Because had they not survived some way, I would not be here to make a difference. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have made the recognition and the progress that we have made in this country or any other one.
Now I'm gonna jump in here and play devil's advocate. And I normally don't, but I'm gonna jump in here. Because I think the reality is, and everything that you're saying is absolutely true. Mm-hmm. The survival of the fetus it's a mother sucker. Facts. In every aspect of life, you deal with survival of the fittest. My thing is, at what point do we sacrifice ourselves for the greater good? And I mean this not just in our culture, in our community, and in this country, but even within your own families, within your own relationships and marriages. At what point do you sacrifice yourself? Because I totally believe exactly what you said. Nobody knows what they would have done in that situation. But there were people who died fighting back. There were people who died saying, you don't have the right to touch my wife. And now that he's dead, did your treatment stop? No, your treatment didn't stop. But then how did you feel about the mate that sacrificed himself for your honor? Is that something you're going to always cherish? Does that give you strength to keep fighting to get free? Like, at the end of the day, I think it's also bringing to the forefront that doing the right thing and being honorable sometimes in our eyes does not pay. So then it goes back to, I gotta survive. Yeah. I gotta thrive. And sometimes we take that overboard. And that's what I believe our culture has now done, is because it has learned from those things that basically says, if I sacrifice, if I put others before me, I'm going to lose every time. Because our society tells you that good guys finish last. Yeah. Our society tells you, like, even in relationships, If you have a good heart, you're going to get hurt. That's what society tells you that.
Right.
If you go in wanting love and happiness, you're going to be disappointed. People expect it.
Yeah.
They will even call you weak for loving.
Yep. Yep.
They will call you weak for wanting to be a wife or a husband.
Yeah.
The thing now is be with somebody, but don't give them too much energy. Don't give them too much control, because then they have you at a disadvantage. Because if you do that, then you know what I mean? Like, you put yourself at risk. And so I totally agree that at the root of all of this mean girl behavior and this sister versus sister is self-preservation.
Yes.
Even when it comes to your beauty, even when it comes to your looks,
yes,
society and our culture has
Yes.
told you. Do y'all understand that there are studies out there
Mhm.
that says the more attractive you are,
Yep.
the more successful you will be? And it has nothing to do with your degree. It has nothing to do with where you come from. It's the fact that you are attractive, you will have a better life. There is studies that prove that point.
That's
So
right.
then you wonder why women are so competitive. And then you wonder why women are doing all this stuff to look good to society.
Right.
Which brings us to the point of how there is an infinite battle between Black women. And we can deal with, oh, you wear weave and I'm all natural.
Yeah. Yeah. You can start there too. Yeah.
You wear makeup, and honey, I don't wear no makeup. This is just all me. This is all my melanin popping. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is so minuscule, but it's big because it pits women against each other.
Sure enough.
Listen, I don't care if you nappy headed and wear a wrap around your head every day, all day. Baby, if your soul is beautiful,
yeah,
and if you have confidence in yourself, you are going to exude beauty. But that is not the standard that we are shown. That's why women going to get liposuction. That's why we going to get tummy tucks and booty lifts and breast implants and all of that, because society has told you that figure is what makes you popping. Men are going after that because that's what makes you popping. But a real woman and a real man know that is beyond your physical body type. There's some men who prefer big women. Mm-hmm. There are some men who prefer petite women. That's in the eye of that person. But at the end of the day, you have women running around doing all of this stuff, trying to look good for somebody else, by somebody else's standards. And I'm telling you, all of this stuff is about self-preservation. Because at the end of the day, you trying to get that man with the money, you trying to get that man who's gonna take care of you, you trying to get that job, you trying to get that whatever. And in your mind, you have to look a certain way. You have to be a certain way. I mean, how many times have we wanted a job position or wanted something and said, oh, I don't look the part? I know I have. I know I have. Even in ministry, I have felt like I don't look the part. You know what I'm saying? So there are so many things that society and culture and even family, because I grew up, my mother is a brown-skinned, beautiful mocha woman. I am the darkest of all of her children. And I can remember growing up asking my mother, why wasn't I beautiful like her?
Wow.
And I was talking about the skin color.
Wow.
Because I always got that, oh, she's so pretty to be a dark baby. People used to really come up to me and say that. When I was younger, I got teased. They called me Black Jack. It gave me a thing about my complexion. Then dark-skinned girls became it. And then now it was too big.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? So these are things that I even struggle with in my teenage years because culture, it just changes what beauty is.
Well, that colorism
Yes.
is a big thing.
Yes.
I didn't have to struggle with colorism. However, I was but I did notice in my friend group that some of my darker skin tone friends had problems with my lighter skin tone friends, and sometimes my lighter skin tone friends didn't want to hang out with my darker skin tone friends because they made them feel some type of way. And being in between, I did get a chance to witness some of that stuff.
You know
I
what it
got
reminds you of? It
Hmm.
reminds you of the scene from School Days with the
Yeah.
jiggaboos and the wannabes. Remember, all the light-skinned girls was in a sorority, all the
Yeah.
dark-skinned girls was in a different sororities, and all the dark-skinned girls was like pro-black and wearing their
Yeah.
natural hair, and all of the light-skinned girls had the weave and makeup, and they looked glamorous. That's the same thing that society has done to us. And believe it or not, even in families, sometimes if you're that dark child, they look down on you in that family. They
Yeah.
treat that lighter child like she's the princess, she's the golden one. And that comes from slavery times as well.
Right.
You know, so the colorism, though, is a huge thing amongst Black women.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people really want to deal with that, but I'm not even going to lie to you. I didn't like light-skinned women because of that.
All right.
I would deliberately do something, bump into you, step on you, shoot anything, and I wanted them to say something smart so I would have a reason to fight them. But the problem wasn't the bump or the shoot. The problem was you high yellow and everybody think you all that, and you might even think you all that. And I had a personal issue. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so colorism is huge among us. And that's really one of the core issues between women. And a lot of women pretend like they're good. You know what I mean? Like, and this is something like we had talked about when people do that fake love and that fake unity, that fake appreciation, like, oh sis, you're so pretty. Oh sis, you're popping. Oh sis, blah, blah, blah. But then the moment they get with their friend and talking about you, oh girl, I couldn't be that big. Oh, la, la, la. You know what I mean? Just that fakeness, you know, but we got to start dealing with the reality that there are issues within our culture. Women have issues with one another. So, but yeah, that you talk about that colorism, it just made me think of the jigaboos and the wannabe from School Days.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but I do want to dispel something. A lot of women believe colorism is the root of that is men. Baby, you wrong. The root of colorism is slavery.
Yes.
Facts. Okay.
Absolutely.
It's not men, so you can't blame them for that. It's slavery. And yes, it was a thing that the house Negro was treated better. And most of the time, the house Negro was of fair complexion, I guess, lighter complexion. But listen, I ain't have to struggle with that. I struggled with other stuff. I was too skinny, and everybody that talked about me, I fought. Period. Just to let y'all know, I fought outside on the street. Boys. Okay, you want to talk? Let's fight. So the colorism, but now if we speed forward to today, because I just talked about a whole bunch of different, points. We speed forward to today. A lot of women be hating because they don't want to ask you to mentor them.
Woo, girl, you cussing. You cussing. Now, you know you can't talk about this around the J. Because you know the J.
We're going to hit it today.
The J got a lot to say about this subject.
We're going to hit it today. We talking about why do women hate each other. Let's be real.
Now, this real talk,
they're too prideful to ask you to mentor them.
This real talk, sis. I don't know if they mature enough for this talk right here.
They better get mature. And then when you get a little bit of mentorship to them, right? Let's just say they come to you for a little bit. Okay. And you mentor them a little bit. Oh,
I'm gonna sip my water.
They think they got enough. They think they got enough. You You've been mentored for 2 months. Now all of a sudden you got enough. I'm gonna do exactly what you doing because I done learned it from you.
Ooh,
And I'm gonna do it better.
ooh,
But it's not sustainable.
oh God.
And it's not productive.
Oh God, I want to shout right here.
Because you didn't
I want to
sit
shout right here.
and stay. I'm not saying you had to stay forever because we grow, right? But you think you got all of this in one season?
Ooh, ooh.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wait, but then
Go ahead.
Okay, let me just throw this out there. But then they sneak and watch you.
That's where I'm about to go.
They sneak and watch.
That's exactly where I'm about to go.
And then
now,
they to replicate.
Ooh,
You replicating a position that they can't maintain.
Ooh, don't you do that. Ooh, you're gonna piss somebody off. Listen. Listen.
Go ahead.
He said one of the reasons why women hate on other women is because they can't ask for mentorship. My God. And when they do ask for mentorship, they stay long enough to get what they think is the essence of who you are, and then they run off because they think they got what they need. Listen, I could shout right here, okay? Because I know this so well. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what I want to say about that. Number one, every woman and even every man should have a mentor.
Yeah.
Should be mentored at some point in their life. Period. I don't care how boss you is. I don't care how old you is. I don't care how young you is. You need somebody to show you what you do not know.
Right.
And if you cannot, it's not even humility. If you cannot celebrate others and recognize their strengths and identify that I don't have that strength, but I want that strength, and I need to link up with them to get that strength and learn that. Let me tell y'all something about me. I am a mentor. I am a leader. I am an entrepreneur. I am a whole lot of stuff, but I didn't get there by myself. And I didn't get there because I was so great and so grand. And I didn't even get there because of my education. I got there because of women who were bosses, women who were entrepreneurs, women who were great mothers, women that I saw doing the damn thing. And I was like, I need to learn how to be like that.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to get that. And whether I was mentored to them, like went to them and asked for mentorship, or whether I watched them from afar and learned from them, I never downplayed that woman that I learned from.
Right.
I always gave them their props.
Right.
I didn't know how to cook, but I saw my sister who was a wife and she cooked all the time. I had to learn. I said, man, that's kind of fly. Because this joker be getting hamburger helper every day. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm talking about my first marriage. So
I'm not going to deal with you. You a mess. Go ahead.
My first marriage, he got hamburger helper. I ain't know nothing about no hot meals, 3 meals a day. I ain't know nothing about that. But listen, honey, I learned because I saw other wives who were doing wife stuff.
Yeah.
And their husbands was praising what they did. And I'm like, I need to be like that.
Yeah.
But I can't cook. I gotta learn how to cook. Where can I learn how to cook? I called family members. I called some of his family members.
Yeah.
I did cookbooks. Listen, I learned how to cook. So what I'm saying is we have a bad tendency as Black women to not be able to recognize the strength, the position of power, the advancement of another woman, and say, hey, can you show me how to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what we do instead of that?
Hmm.
We talk about them
Yeah.
and act like what they doing ain't nothing.
Yeah.
And then we go over here and try to imitate it.
Yeah.
And I said to imitate, the disrespectful. You're imitating
Yeah.
what that woman has done and try to pass it off like it's originally your idea.
Right.
Like it's really something that's in you. Know that you got inspired by me. Keep it real. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, for real. I don't hang with nobody. Listen, I don't hang with nobody with bosses. Facts. When you see me call somebody sister, they a boss. And I have learned something from them. And this is why we kick it together. Because we give each other something. When I need help with something, I got sisters I can call because they boss it in that area. Facts. Okay? That is the power of sisterhood. That is the power of recognizing that you a bad girl. That's the power of recognizing, whoo, she did the damn thing. Yep, I'm gonna say it. And saying, man, I gotta level up.
Yeah.
But my sisters can help me level up.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta steal. You ain't gotta steal from them.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta watch they posts. And when you see them talking about a subject, you run and try to do it in your own little platform. That ain't what you do. That's disrespectful. You trying to illegally access my anointing. You trying to illegally access my skill.
Well,
come on now.
Let me move a little further. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go another step further. Now, this will may chap you too. A lot of women hate on other women because the man that they desires the other woman.
Oui.
So what they'll do is they will try to replicate different areas of the woman that he desires so that it gives some sort of resemblance to what he wants.
Oh, you better preach.
But that's hard to maintain, beauty.
Better preach, ma'am. Oh, oui.
You can.
That ain't her authentic self.
It's not your authentic self. So eventually, the real you is gonna come out. And let me tell you what he's doing. And I'm not talking to nobody's particular.
I'm getting hot.
Unless the shoe fit.
Good God.
He's going to go to you. Yes. He's going to go to the next woman, maybe even the next woman. Because you all possess 10% pieces of the woman that he desires. But you're not 100%.
Why?
Because the 100% is somewhere else. And let me say this. Most of the time, that 100%er doesn't really know you exist like that. Because if you are the type of woman that's doing that, you're clearly not on her level.
Oh, please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
Not MC Hammer.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
You're not on her level. And let me tell you something. Somebody would say, well, dang, LaQuisha, that was arrogant to say. When have you ever seen an eagle walking around with chickens?
They don't do it.
Huh? Okay. So it's not arrogant to say, it's real. She doesn't see you.
It's factual.
You're not on her level, not physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You're not on her level. And so what happens is, let's go to this other side. What happens is, because the woman doesn't know you exist, and you see fragments of him still kind of leering back to like, let me see what she do. you begin to get bitter.
Mm.
And you begin to hate on the woman even more because now what you've replicated is no longer sustainable.
Mm.
Now you mad. You hate everybody. Can't stand it.
Lord God. Lord God.
And unfortunately, that is another reason why women hate. You want to add to that, sis? No. It's unfortunate. Uh-oh. You muted. Your mic is mute. What'd you say? Okay.
I said I better not touch that one.
Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble. So I'm gonna just say amen to that.
All right. And so what another thing is, I'm getting ready to hit this. We'll go a little deeper. Hating on other people because you ain't never had nothing.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Well, what you mean, LaQuisha? How could I hate on somebody if I ain't never had nothing? Because when you finally get something, you ain't used to it because you ain't never had nothing. Now you think everybody looking at you. We already done had
it. Or you ain't never had nothing, and then you looking at them thinking what they got is too good to be true. Or they had to lie, steal, lay down with somebody to get it.
Now
no,
we can go down.
No.
We can go down.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about.
We all don't have to do the same things to attain.
No, ma'am.
Life.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, even when I was out in the streets, they said you're gonna get down or you're gonna lay down. Meaning you're gonna lay on your back and let a man give it to you, or you're gonna get out here and get it like they get it. Guess what? I'm gonna get out.
Get down. Get down.
I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out here and get it like the men get it. Cause I ain't about to lay on my back and get nothing. And I'm sorry, I ain't coming at nobody who did. Okay, because if that's your past, that is your past. I'm just talking to you about me and what I ain't about to do. No, baby.
And some people say, "Oh,
I got more assets than what's between my legs. I got more assets than these lips, these hips, and this beautiful face." Okay, so just know.
And some people will say, "Oh, why you hating on their hustle? You hating on their hustle?" Well, no one's hating on their hustle, but oftentimes though, with those women, they hate on our hustle. You want to put the next woman down because she ain't. First, listen, the hustling mentality is so distorted. It's distorted. Your idea of it is distorted.
Exactly. Because when we say hustle, we mean work hard. We mean coming up with ideas and working your plan.
Yeah.
We don't mean swindling people, manipulating people, stealing from people, robbing people. That ain't our idea of hustling. And so I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people, when they talk about hustling, or they talk about the hustler, especially with women, and we have to deal with women because this is sister versus sister.
Yeah, right.
So when it comes to women, a lot of times when they talk about they hustle, they talking about they know how to look, they know how to entice a man, they know how to sex a man good enough that he'll give them whatever they ask for, whatever they want. That's what they mean by hustle.
Yeah.
A boss woman, a woman of integrity, a woman of honor, that ain't what she means. What she mean is what's up in here. She can produce it and manifest finances. Her ideas, her gifting, her talent, her education. She gonna get that. She gonna hustle that. It ain't no such thing as no to a woman like this because her hustle gonna kick in. She's gonna figure it out. With God's help, she's gonna figure it out and she's gonna get it done. Her idea of hustling is, even if she got a man, he do his man stuff, but she know how to produce.
Yeah.
She ain't gotta depend on nobody. She knows how to produce. She is a help to that man. She's not looking at that man as a bag. She
And
ain't
don't
looking
get
at
it
that man
twisted.
as what he about to do for me and how he about to take care of me.
Mhm.
So it's a whole different thing. You gotta understand, you gotta define. So next time you talk on somebody and they talking about they're a hustler about there, you gotta ask them what kind of hustle they talking about, because we're in two different brackets, friends.
Not the same level. And don't get it twisted. Just because that woman is not out hustling the way you do in the streets doesn't mean she's weak.
Right.
Do not be mistaken by thinking that the person of peace is unskilled at war.
Come on now. Watch
Okay?
it. It's called We Tired of War.
We tired of war and we pick and choose our battles. Some stuff ain't worth it.
And know how to rest. Okay.
And know how to rest. I'm not getting ready to come down off of a peak to come and fight with you over chicken feed.
Not about to do it. Not about to do it.
Now, that's another thing. Ain't never had nothing. So when you ain't never had nothing, you want to hate on the next person that has always had something. Or it's more of the mentality where you think that everyone is hating on you because you've never had anything. And oftentimes that's what I see. And it's very unfortunate. I said to someone the other day, I was like, listen, humble yourself, because humility will open the door for more.
Yes. Very
Right?
factual.
And let me tell you something. These things that you get, they, for people that have the polluted mentality, they only stay briefly and then they're back down again.
That part.
We need to conversate, sis, about having sustainable blessings, ones that continuously come to you.
Oh,
Okay, whether you're abound or abased, you're content because you're good. But these people that get the short-term blessings, they're on top of a mountain, but it's minimal compared to what you can have.
And then want to show off when they got that brief blessing on
Then
top
you
of the
wanna show
mountain.
off.
But here's the problem. You're showing off to people who are always on the mountain.
That's the point I was trying to make. You're showing off to people that are always on the mountain.
We already, you flashing the trips that you taking, but we've been taking trips. Now that's one thing that is a pet peeve of mine. And listen, y'all know me, I ain't no hater by far. I celebrate women and men alike. When I see my people doing big things, I celebrate you. But baby, if you're going on trips and your bills are not paid, if you're going on trips and you have no savings, if you're going on trips and you have no plan for your life, you're just spending money. You're just doing something. I'm going to take the trip. I'm not taking my last to do it.
Me neither.
Because wisdom has taught me better than that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when you out here trying to flex, and I'm only talking to the people who do things to flex. When you're out here trying to flex on that temporary blessing, when that money runs out, you're back to living normal, but you tried to crap on everybody while you was up there on the mountain.
Yeah.
Listen, that's not where it's at.
It's
and I'm gonna talk about it. All these PPP loans, the stimuluses that everybody got, because let's be real, we all got the stimulus, okay? All them stimulus. Listen, if you did not pay up some bills, if you did not get your stuff caught up, if you did not put something in savings, if you did not put yourself in a better position and you just took that money and splurged, you are unwise, sis. And you need a mentor. You need a coach. You need a finance class. You need something to better yourself. Because when you are used to having things and getting things, you don't have to do all that. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I'm becoming so private now because I might share some things, but I don't share a lot of things because I'm understanding the importance of keeping my life quiet and personal. Not a secret, but private. My accomplishments, I don't need to share with the world. My financial status ain't nobody's business. My man and how we doing ain't your concern. I don't need to front for you. Like you don't need to front for me. So what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, recognize that if you're doing something and you're celebrating, oh, the first trip I've ever taken, that's a milestone. That's something to celebrate. But if you're just trying to crap on people and or talking down on people who not going overseas or who not traveling every weekend, a lot of people ain't doing that not because they can't. They have goals.
Right.
They have things that they're trying to accomplish.
Right.
They have a standard of what is acceptable for their life. Not that they poor and broke and they can't do it, boo.
Right. Right.
That's what she means by stay humble.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
You gotta keep that humility. Even when God blesses us, it is not for us to flex on people.
Yeah.
Because if you take a blessing and you do that with, it's gonna be a short-lived blessing.
And it goes back to that.
Yeah.
It
go ahead, sis.
That part. It goes back to, let's just boil all of this down to what it is. You doing all of this stuff and you hating on the next one because you don't love you. You don't love yourself. Just because you get a new handbag or a new hairstyle or a new dress, you know, yeah, I take good care of myself. But that don't mean nothing. You need to love you. What do you see when you look in the mirror?
Oh,
are you happy with the way your life is right now?
My God.
Are you happy with your position in life? We're breaking down this thing. This is sister versus sister. You want to know why it's sister versus sister? Because it's you versus you.
Yes.
So how can you have any compassion for the sister with your same melanin?
That's right.
No.
That's right.
You can't have no compassion for the sister with your same melanin because you at first yourself. I'm gonna be honest, I've often seen things, I've seen a lot of things, and I look in the eyes of some of these women that do certain things, right? And what I see is pain. I see pain. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I see ugliness. And I don't mean ugly, not like, oh, she ugly. I mean ugliness.
On the inside.
Your soul is ugly.
Yeah.
You going on trips, you buying this or you buying that, but you ugly. I see pain in your eyes.
And bitterness will make you ugly. And pain that you refuse to acknowledge or heal from will make you ugly. And that's
and
fact.
No material thing is gonna fix that. None. And I get it, sis. Life's challenges has done this. But in my case, I can't volunteer. You gotta ask. What do you mean? I can't volunteer to say, let me help you on this journey. You gotta ask. Humility is the beginning of wisdom. You gotta ask.
Yeah.
Because if you don't ask and I volunteer, then you take on the attitude of she thinks she know everything. And now next thing you know, I'm your next hateration target.
Yep.
I don't even want the energy. And I'm sure that there are a lot of other women that have conquered some of life challenges that feel the same way, like we just not gonna volunteer. You need to be willing. If you're willing, you can get what you need. But it goes back to you versus you.
Yeah.
And that is why women hate on each other. Don't go back to the man or none of that. Goes back to you.
Yeah. The man is just a small side effect. And that's the truth. It's an output. You know what I mean? So
how do we fix
crazy?
So how do we fix it?
Ooh, well, I mean, honestly, number one, you got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. And I'll be real with you, like growing and maturing even to the place that I am at now, I only got there by acknowledging my inadequacies.
Yep.
Like literally saying to myself, you don't like this about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this is how you respond. This is how you react. Like the first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself about your inadequacies. If you're jealous, you're jealous. If
Yeah.
you a little hater, if you hate sometimes, you're a hater.
Yeah.
If you talk about people like a dog, you're a backbiter. Like, be real with yourself. If you're judgmental, you're judgmental.
Yeah.
You got to be honest with yourself and identify those negative qualities, because everybody wants to look at the good stuff and the bad, big stuff, and be like, yeah, I'm this and I'm that and I'm that and I'm that. That's all great. But you only become great by dealing with the stuff that ain't great.
Right.
Even in my life right now, I have 2 personal goals. Those goals are things that I feel inadequate about.
Yeah.
It's not about what somebody said to me. It's not what somebody said, this is what I need to be. They are things that when I look at myself, I do not like those things. I am not satisfied with those things. And that is where my focus is now. And as a woman who is constantly trying to mature and evolve in life, I am constantly looking at myself.
Yeah.
In a natural way and even a spiritual way. Because sometimes I have to pray, God, reveal to me the things in me that are not like you, the things you don't like, the things that are a hindrance to my life, to my family, to my purpose. Like hinder, show me those things, because maybe I don't see them. You understand what I'm saying? So I would say that's the first step. What do you think the next step is after that, sis?
So the first step is, like you said, being acknowledging your things. I think that the next step is okay. So we know to acknowledge those things. You gonna have to go up there. I think the next step is purposely celebrating other women. Purposely. We have to get out of this survival mode. We got to break the chain of strong Black woman idea. Not saying you're not strong, but we got to do that. We got to step out of survival mode. When you begin to celebrate other women, you're humble enough to learn from them. So I could say, oh, we got to start learning from other women, but you got to celebrate them first. You got to be able to recognize their accomplishments. When you can recognize another woman's accomplishments, then you're more susceptible to learning what she has to teach. So we have to start celebrating other women. Number 2. Number 3, you got a third one? Nope. Okay. Trust. Trust. People say all the time, don't trust nobody. All the time. Don't trust nobody. Don't trust nobody. I'm sorry to say this, somebody ain't gonna agree, but that's a stigma. Because what it is you're supposed to trust until they reveal to you that you can't. Because then you start out the gate thinking everybody is against you. When you live like that, you live in an isolated world. No one is for you. I'm not telling you to trust everybody. If they show you who they are, that's different. But how can you start out the gate? Somebody tell you their name is Timbuktu, and you like, I don't trust that. How you know? You're psychic? How you know that ain't their name? We've been taught not to trust one another. And that makes people haters. I'm not telling you to just go around trusting complete strangers. I'm not telling you to be weak. What I'm saying is you have to get out of the mind frame of everyone being against you straight out the gate. Some people ain't thinking about you.
And Can I
Go ahead.
interject here?
Yeah.
Can I interject here and say that is also a reason why healing is important?
Yeah.
Because it's the unhealed hurt in you
Mm-hmm.
that believes that no one is trustworthy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you another secret. You don't trust people emphatically.
Right.
You trust what you know about them.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you there's not going to be one person that you trust with all of you in
Right.
every part of your life. Me
Right.
and my sister are super close, have been close forever. I don't trust her with every part of me. She does not trust me with every part of me. Why? Because we know what each other can handle,
Yeah.
and we know each other's inadequacies.
Yeah.
We know each other's weak spots. I'm not going to trust her with something that's a part of her weak spot. She's
Right.
not going to trust me with something that she knows maybe I would have a pet peeve about. I wouldn't really be able to help her or look at her a certain way. So that's what I mean by you trust people for what you know about them.
Yeah.
I trust that if anything ever happened to me, that she will take care of my children.
Yeah.
I trust that if I had any type of financial issues or business affairs that needed to be handled, she could do it and do it the way that I would do that.
Yeah.
I trust that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I trust her with my husband and my kids.
Listen, don't you go there, because someone don't trust nobody with their husband.
Okay. Now that's that. Now I'm gonna tell you now, I don't trust a whole lot of folks like that. You better know it. But okay, her, my sister Natasha, that I don't gotta worry about that. Right. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. You trust what you know about that person. If you know you got that friend that was been down for you, has had your back, they're a part of your family, but they gossip a little bit. Mm-hmm. You trust them. You just don't tell them things you don't want leaked.
Right. Right.
You know they might not mean it to, but they gonna say something. You know,
right, exactly.
That's what I mean. But you can only get to that place when you actually heal, because we have all been betrayed. We have all been done bad. Mm-hmm. We have all had our confidence taken and tainted by someone. Like, we have all gone through that. But if you don't heal from that, the effects of that will rule your life. And that's what she means about when you walk around to my own trust nobody. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No, I trust few people, but I trust some people. Right. And the reason why I trust them is because I identify who they are. Mm-hmm. And I identify where I can trust them and how I can trust them. The problem is you don't trust anyone emphatically. Right. Because everyone is human, and that means we are all capable of error.
We all make mistakes. Things happen.
So heal. It's so important, because I can't tell you how many times I have wanted to be friends with a boss woman and just knew like we could do some stuff, but they've been so hurt in past relationships, they don't even know how to be friends. They don't even know how to have a sister. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not willing to go through the emotional abuse to help you heal, and just so I can be your friend. I just withdraw. You attack me, I withdraw. I might try a couple times, but if it becomes a habit, I withdraw. And I say to myself, this just ain't the season. Mm-hmm. The maturity. I've had people who did me that way because I wasn't healed yet. Mm-hmm. And I had to mature. And then when I did, God brought us back in a different season. Yeah. So that's what I mean by it. You have to heal to trust. Yeah. You have to. It's important. And even these relationships you get into, you gotta heal, because if you don't really trust that man, or that man don't really trust you. You have something, but you can't even really be together because you don't really trust each other. And that's because you haven't healed beyond the last place of your disappointment and your betrayal. So it's important to heal.
Well, that's all I got right now. If you want to talk about next month, how we're just to go hit that for a second. We're going to go into a series next month. And because this was just pretty much a predecessor to what we want to do. Because even though you're not asking, we're still available. So what we want to do is go into helping each other heal, helping each other accomplish goals. We're going to be doing vision boards, all kind of stuff. So we will make flyers. We'll let you know when to get your materials together because it's about to go down. One thing is we're refusing to just operate on survival. We survive better together. So we need to work on sisterhood, and that is what Sister Conversations in Black is all about. Is we're not here to just talk about problems and issues and this and that, but we're here to offer solutions as from two women of color in this community that have gone through stuff. I am your sister.
Yes.
Whether you want to receive me or not, I'm not going to shove myself down your throat. But please know that I'm from the same hood. I am. And this is what it is. So next month, we're going to be doing all month long, we're going to be doing a 4-part series on growth and how togetherness and getting to your next goal. Because one thing about it is, what is it? Each one reach one, and each somebody reach somebody. You got to reach back and you got to be able to help people at the end of the day. Instead of walking around here like you always done had it, you always done did it. Listen, and for you haters that watch after we off live or go back and look, it's cool too. You still get to learn. I have no problem with it. As long as you digest the food we giving and it adds the nutrients to your body, eventually you're going to get them toxins out.
Amen.
And that's all I got.
Well, I think that was a great ending. I just want to end by saying I hope that this was a good conversation. I hope that you understood where we were coming from and even saw yourself in this conversation. And hopefully this is not the last time that you will have this conversation, but just be real and honest with yourself and identify things in you that you just don't want to be there anymore because they're not beautiful. They're not something that you would brag about. Anything like that needs to be removed out of your life. And guess what? You and God are the only people who can get that done. Okay, it's not up to a man to come in and heal you and get it done. It's not for a sister to come in and show you how to be. That's not it. You got to do that work for yourself, which brings us to our series that we're going to be popping into next month. And we're going to be some gold diggers, baby.
Yeah, if you have topics, send it to our inbox. You want to talk about how to do your makeup better? I personally need to learn. I don't know how to apply it. I be trying. Okay, my eyebrows be too thick and stuff. I'm willing to learn. If you want to learn on some cooking stuff, listen, your girl be in the kitchen. I know my sister cook. I be in that kitchen. We can do that. If you got some recipes you want to throw out there. If you want to learn money management.
Oh, yeah. I definitely got that together.
Where to start a business, how to budget, your girl budget, your girl do money management, credit repair. Listen, whatever topic I'm getting excited already because it's about to go down because I like when we going down. I like when we offer solutions. I like when we come against the things that the problems, the stigmas that the world has put on us, the country has put on us. I like when we do that because now, baby, you don't have an excuse.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, and what we're doing for you, somebody did for us.
That's right. Facts. Facts.
So if you have any topics, send it to the inbox, send it to the website. Let us look over it. Hey, we're probably gonna take maybe 15 minutes at the end of the session and go over that. And we got some makeup artists around here. Both of our children and hair and fashion. Listen, let's get it popping. Let's get the work done, sis. This is Sister to Sister, my sister and me, Sister Conversations in Black.
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching this week's episode 19, Sister versus Sister. Remember, it's you against you. All right. So you got to do what needs to be done so that you can boss up. We're going into our next series. I don't know if we're going to call it gold digging or if we're going to call it the boss up, the glow up. We'll figure it out. But anyway, it's gonna be all positive. It's all gonna be helpful things to help you become a better you. And we may have a few guests, okay? Because we ain't the only boss sisters we know. Okay, we got some young boss sisters, we got some older boss sisters, and we got some other boss sisters. Okay, so all right, y'all have a good Sunday. Cause you know, my sister did cook, baby. I got that roast and that cabbage and that cornbread, and them children is ready to eat. So I got to
And
get
I'm
them
ready
off
to
here.
eat too.
All right.
Okay.
Till next week. We love y'all.